Well, the end to a shameful, ridiculous, and outrageously expensive case meant to destroy the political fortunes of Donald John Trump by corrupt leftist politicians and prosecutors in the state of New York, fabricating crimes for non existent crimes. Donald Trump Jr. gets a no penalty sentence in the so called hush money case related to Stormy Daniels. He called it despicable. President elect Donald Trump was sentenced on Friday, January 10th, 2025, to no punishment in his historic hush money case, a judgment that lets him return to the White House unencumbered by the threat of a jail term or a fine. Of course, he couldn't be put in jail while serving as president, so that's ludicrous on the face of it. The fact there's no fine makes sense. Now, this no penalty sentence is called an unconditional discharge. It's the first criminal prosecution and first conviction of a former U.S. president and major presidential candidate. And of course, it's all just bogus and a farce. It was illegitimate and a massive case of prosecutorial misconduct. For his part, President Trump spoke for about 6 minutes by video, castigating the process. Trump did not appear in person in New York, but rather by video teleconference. In roughly 6 minutes of remarks to the court, a calm but insistent President Trump called the case a weaponization of government and an embarrassment to New York. He maintained that he did not commit any crime, and I am 100% agree with him. No such crime existed. The statute of limitations for the so-called accounting crimes had expired. That statute of limitations is just 3 years and had long expired many years. But they tried a novel approach of creating a fictional crime by taking federal election law tied to campaign finance, which the federal government, the Department of Justice, even under Joe Biden, was unwilling to prosecute because there was no substance, no case, no smoke, no fire, no nothing. Yet Alvin Bragg took that federal statute over which New York State has zero jurisdiction and bootstrapped it to expired misdemeanor charges for accounting fraud. The head of a corporation, accounting fraud. Give me a break. Expired, no validity. Federal statute, no validity. Put them together in closing arguments and claimed that President Trump committed 34 felonies. Now, obviously, this is a place that should have had a change of venue. All kinds of mistakes here. Trump said it's been a political witch hunt. It was done to damage my reputation so that I would lose the election, and obviously that didn't work. He's correct. The whole farce lasted 30 minutes. Afterward, President Trump called it a despicable charade. He indicated that he will, rightly, appeal the ludicrous conviction. Now, the feckless judge, Juan Merchan, referring to the no punishment sentence, stated, despite the extraordinary breadth of those protections, one power they do not provide is the power to erase a jury verdict. Well, that's true. But the corrupt and illegitimate fashion, not to mention the numerous judicial errors Merchan made in his kangaroo court, will result in the convictions being thrown out in an appeals court, and these convictions will be overturned. Donald Trump is not a felon. That's a fantasy of leftist hate wankers. There was no crime here. Who was the injured party? This was a non-disclosure statement, and Trump paid his attorney for services rendered. The attorney is the one that made a payoff, not Trump. And of course, we know who that is, a convicted fraudster, felon. Enough said. What say you, folks? Donald Trump, no punishment. Cheers.